Smith scores for Scotland.
Romajang stepping away. Stunning work from Bridger. What an individual score this is.
Dobrat is in.
Talent aplenty has graced these great leagues, but now future stars are set to shine. Last season was the most thrilling to date, but now it's time for a new crop of talent to grace the field, and in this league, anything could happen. It's time to take your seat. The best leagues in the land are back.
Byfield with a BUCS Super Rugby try for the ages.
And then was a white line seeking missile.
Score! Rise towards the line. Sensational score from Romajang.
Winding to gear, drive to the line. And Cardiff are streaking across. Welcome back, everybody. BUCS Super Rugby is back underway.
It's a blustery, wintry, rainy day here at the Llanrumney playing field, but don't fear, we have an absolutely scintillating double header on our hands. Cardiff University playing Hartpury in the men's and Edinburgh in the women's. A scintillating double header for you guys all to enjoy and us to brave the rain for.
Winning some games, I reckon. Winning some games.
Putting out good performances week in, week out. As long as you're putting a good performance, like, the scoreline will show itself.
Chinese.
I would probably say the Chinese. I love Peking chicken.
Ellie Troman's first season with Wales under 23s, so pretty exciting.
I would say is one of our new first years coming in, Lucy McRae. She's got a lot of skills. I think she'll surprise a lot of people.
Lucy Sennick, without a doubt.
Maybe myself. I never have myself that put together. Going down to play Cardiff, it's a new team, like there's no expectations, and we really want to see what we have.
Passionate, exciting, Welsh.
I would say a baked potato, mainly because you don't know what's going to come with me. You can have your beans, you have your cheese, your tuna, but normally you normally laugh at me most of the time, so.
Owen, great to see you, great to be at Llanrumney, and great to have...
Yeah, let's try it.
Rolling.
Owen, great to see you, great to be at Llanrumney, and great to have Cardiff up in the Women's National League. It's been a long journey for you guys, but here at the top table, how are you and the group settling in?
Yeah, obviously we're delighted to be here. For us this year, it's just a case of seeing how competitive we can be. Obviously, I think we're going to have to learn week by week, game by game, and just keep improving our standards whilst we do that.
So look, it was a tough start to your league campaign against your city rivals Cardiff Met last week. What did you learn from that experience, and what did you learn about the team?
First of all, I think we just learned about the pace, the power, the intensity of this division. You know, we spoke about it beforehand, but you can do all the talking you want until the girls experience it. You know, they don't know what's going to hit them. When we were competitive, I thought we played really well, but we didn't keep up that intensity for the full 80. We maybe played 35 to 40 minutes. So again, we need to build on that this week. You know, put performance in for as long as we can.
So another opportunity to build, but another top team, Edinburgh finalists a couple of years ago. What is it about them that you have to get right about your game to get the result today?
Again, I think we have to be ultra competitive at the breakdown. I think Edinburgh like to play the way we like to play, so hopefully it'll be a really expansive game today. Obviously, you know, their backs look really good, so we'll need to try and cut them down a little bit on the outside. But again, for us, it's when we've got the ball, just try and keep possession for as long as we can, obviously whilst making ground and being a threat, and then defensively just work really hard line speed.
And just lastly, for our new viewers and some of the old viewers as well, because you're fresh to all of our eyes, who are some of your players that we can keep an eye out who are going to sprinkle some stardust out here today?
Okay, so again, hopefully, like I said, we like to play expansively, so hopefully it'll be, you know, our outside backs. Ellie Troman's at 13. If we can give her the ball in space, she's a nice, powerful runner. Likewise, our two wingers are dangerous, fairly different. Carolina's more physical, direct. Neve Roberts, small in stature, but, you know, got some wheels on her as well, yeah.
Looking forward to it. Sounds exciting. Go well.
Thanks very much.
Claire, awesome to see you in Edinburgh as ever on the live stream. It's another season. We're used to seeing Edinburgh riding high the last couple, but I know it's been a challenging start to this campaign. So where are you at? Where's the squad at? And how are you feeling about this season?
Yeah, look, we always said this season was going to be a bit of a rebuild for us. We had a core group of players who all graduated at the end of the summer, so it's a bit of a rebuild. But we've got a young, exciting squad, and there's loads to build on from our first couple of games, and we're just really looking forward to today and see how we can progress from last week.
Young and exciting squad. I like the sound of that. Tell us a little bit about that personnel then.
Yeah, so we've there's obviously some core group members from last year. I think there's only 8 or 9 that have played last season that are in our 20 that have come down today. So a lot of first years, 5 or 6 first years, some players that have come through the Scotland Futures programme. So we're really excited to see them in action today.
Okay. Outcome-wise, I know that you'll be after the win. Performance-wise, what is it that you're really after from your charges today?
I think for us, we always focus on ourselves, so we're trying to look at how we play the game. Have we improved from last week, the things we've been working on in training over the last week, and it's always about building momentum. This is our 3rd game now, so we've got a 2-week break after this, then we've got a real tough 7-week block back to back up until Christmas. So what can we take from that to build into that gap into those 7 games afterwards is key for us.
Nice. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you back in action. Go well.
Thank you.
Alongside me today to give a better pronunciation of that, but I can tell you that we've got all the details and we've got all the finest players for Cardiff University and Edinburgh here to take to the field in what is round 3 of the WNL, starting with the home side, coming off the back of that crushing defeat to city rivals Cardiff Met. Owen Smith has remained faithful to the very many who got them to this league in an undefeated season that also delivered a vast triumph over Loughborough 2's. Carolina Thomas and Niamh Roberts chimed in with 25 tries between them across last season, so plenty of firepower to call upon in the back line. And Izzy van der Sande will be licking her lips at the opportunity to go up against her old team, having done her undergrad at Edinburgh, but now in her 3rd year post-grad medicine degree here in Wales's capital city. Zoe Dare is the swashbuckling captain wearing 8, and there's a birthday as well in the ranks for Claudia Harrison, starting at tight head. For Edinburgh, there's a few familiar names for those of you who will have tuned in across the years in the WNL. One of them is Abby Bruce, more usually cited at fullback, wears the 10 jersey in place of Sarah Denham, out dealing with a concussion, but the 4th year will be partnered by co-captain Rhea Clark at scrum half. And they'll be in a hurry to get the ball to Lucy McRae, who already this season, the Scottish Futures player, has delivered 3 tries and kicked pretty sweetly as well. Siobhan McGinley is the other co-captain for Edinburgh in the absence of Holly McIntyre, the named captain who sadly was injured on Scotland duty in a training match against Wales. She's actually going under the knife today, so we all wish her well, and if she's tuning in, we certainly say hello and hope that she's looking forward to seeing her side in action. For us, the first time to see the WNL, it's round 3. It is the newly promoted Cardiff against finalists from 2 seasons ago, Edinburgh, and I'm delighted to say that Hannah Spear has, despite her ACL injury, ascended the 20 flights to the top of the highest gantry, I think, in BUCS Super Rugby to call this game alongside me. So Hannah, you're excited?
I'm very excited, thank you.
What should we expect from your Edinburgh team today?
I think definitely there's going to be a lot of ball out in the backs. Definitely looking to see some ball out wide. Hopefully scoring out in the wide channels for Edinburgh.
Well, those wide channels are looking extra threatening because we're seeing the return of Kieran Bell, who is a former top try scorer back in the 2022 WNL final reaching campaign. She is a thoroughbred finisher out on that left wing, Hannah.
Definitely she is. I think she's definitely looking forward to making her debut this season out on the wing. Definitely excited to see her and our other wing partnership as well.
No, that's great. Cheers, Jen. Thank you. Got it?
The rallying cry from Edinburgh. What's going on in there, Hannah?
Well, it's our usual fired up chant. It's pretty good. It's been this year. It is Siobhan that's taken over the ranks after Eva Donaldson last year, but I think she's doing a pretty good job at it.
So Eva Donaldson, one of the graduates from last season, well, the last few years for Edinburgh, and you heard from Claire a number of graduates, a big core of the team having departed. Eva Donaldson off to Leicester Tigers and involved in the Scottish setup. So some real quality coming out of Edinburgh, but no doubt some real quality from some of the freshers who'll be wearing green on the stream for the first time in their Edinburgh careers. A big day for the Cardiff University women's side. Up in the WNL, looking for a response after coming off second best against Cardiff Met in the clash last week at the Arms Park, but for the first time hosting a WNL game here at Llanrumney. And Rose Halstead puts her head down and carries the red jerseys across the 10-metre line. Well, just left behind by Caddy Williams. Fly hacked through, but that's pretty smart from Ellie Tromans, who's there to mop up the mess. And that is a pretty nice exit.
It was pretty good. We'll see how good the line out is now.
So a fine touch finder. Millie Whitehouse, new to the squad. Nails her first line-out throw and sets the co-captain Siobhan McGinley up to the halfway. Edinburgh, bit of time on the ball until there's no time. Clattered in the tackle and fly hacked through from Eleanor Hing. But it judged to have been knocked down in the tackle. Good pressure coming from the Cardiff defence. So Hannah, obviously injured at the moment, but played Scotland 18s, and you're a winger sort of transitioning to outside centre as well in the kind of Claire Cruikshank model of converting players into different positions with success. If you're out in the 13 channel here, what are you expecting? What's the call in attack?
Edinburgh like to play it in their centres. They like to use the ball, like to take it to the line. Definitely looking to see Nicole Flynn there, hoping to see her on the ball soon. Just unfortunate then that we lost the ball.
Well, Rose Halstead gets another carry under her belt, working hard the second row. That's a good tackle from Nicole Flynn. Lucy Senek is doing well to keep the tempo high for Cardiff. They want quick ball, they like to play. There was a hint of an opportunity to get out into the 15-metre channel before Ella Oldfield straightened things up. Nice show and go from Williams. And still, Cardiff probed down the short side. Hint of a lazy arm in the tackle, and referee Amber Stamp sees that too. So a good bit of concerted possession for Cardiff. And even though the girl with the ball in her hands right now, Eleanor Hing, was kicking very nicely indeed during the warm-up from the tee, she opts to go to the line, and it's the first foray into the Edinburgh 22. The line-out drill's matched as Della Savina climbs highest, and again Holstead deployed as a battering ram. Williams with the miss, bringing in Carolina Thomas, and then a nice bit of hands, and Cardiff are in behind the Edinburgh backline. The transfer from captain to finisher, a thrilling try and a brilliant finish from Niamh Roberts. Cardiff across the whitewash first. And she continues the rich vein of scoring that played such a huge hand in seeing Cardiff elevated to the Women's National League.
Good try, I think. I think Edinburgh were a wee bit slow to get off the line then. Could have done with a bit more of a drift defence, but good start from the Wales team.
Well, it was good interplay, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Backs and forwards linking up, sort of popping up in areas that the number on their backs might not suggest they'd be.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a great skill to have. A good forward pack with good handling skills. It definitely makes a difference, especially out in the wide channels.
And I'm not sure you'll see many finer conversions than that. I told you that Eleanor Hing was hitting it out the screws in the warm-up, and she maximises the Niamh Roberts try, and Cardiff lead Edinburgh 7 points to 0. Well, there'll be a little bit more wind in the Cardiff sails after that try. And they're sticking true to their structure in the deployment of Holstead in the middle. That's a gorgeous line, splitting the Edinburgh defence. Thomas surging through, support on the shoulder, comes in the form of Senek. Cardiff again with the quick ball. Holstead sees it slip through her fingertips, but her second row partner Olivia Price is there to gallop on a few more metres. Van der Sande, formerly of the Edinburgh University Church. But Zoe Dare comes up with an uncharacteristic error, and the advantage slips from the grasp of Cardiff.
I think Edinburgh will be happy to take the scrum there. Just letting Wales team get through a bit more. They could probably do with tightening up a wee bit, but I think they'll be happy to take the scrum and slow the game down a wee bit. I'm seeing a lot of backs move out there. Definitely looking to see Hannah Walker get hands on the ball out on the wing.
Well, the open side is stacked.
Definitely. Hopefully we can get the ball out. There's definitely loads of space.
Well, Lucy McRae takes things a little bit more direct, a little more simply. And from that initial carry, that's who you wanted on the ball. Hannah Walker linking up with Nicole Flynn. Back to Walker. Ticker-tacker rugby from Edinburgh to coast under the post and respond almost immediately. Big celebrations all round for Hannah Walker. A beautifully worked score.
It was a beautiful try there. If anyone was going to get round, it'd be Hannah Walker. I think she could wiggle her way out of a metre of space.
Walker had the initial surge down that right touchline. It was Nicole Flynn working hard on the inside to give her an option, and then just to have the awareness to rediscover Walker, who continued her run. And there's nothing wrong with the McRae strike, but cannons off the upright. So Cardiff maintain their lead, albeit cut to 2. Hannah McMahon, who wears the 3 jersey today, took over Anne Young's jersey last year, but now at Loosehead. And again, connection between Flynn and Walker almost prizing Cardiff Open, but I mean, we were right in line with that one. That was forward.
Yeah.
We'll have to call that one.
Personally, I think it was the wind took it slightly.
Oh, the hands were going backwards, were they?
The wind moved their hands forward slightly.
Well, the assistant also exactly where we are on the field, so right in line and communicating with Amber Stamp. 22 years old, our referee. Been refereeing in the Championship and has some experience refereeing Cardiff last season, but her first WNL match. And the intricate play from Cardiff doesn't get rewarded because Caddy Williams takes her eye off the ball on the wrap. Another juggle by Zoe Dare, but this time regathering before it hits the plastic turf. Well, not a particularly thrilling handling of passage.
No, not just now. I think both teams have been a bit guilty of taking the eye off the ball a wee bit, but they're just getting into the game. Hopefully that'll sharpen up as the game goes on.
A good shunt from Edinburgh. They do eventually pick and go, but the penalty awarded. Rhea Clark ain't hanging around. She gives it to her fellow co-captain McGinley. Zoe Pyatt gets in on the slightly suboptimal handling situation and
hit with a sniper then, I think.
Yeah. Zoe Pyatt looks someone who might be uncomfortable to tackle. A lot of power there from the back row.
Yeah, she's definitely really strong. She was someone really exciting this season. She's new to the club, and it's really exciting to see what she's brought.
A lot of freshers in green this afternoon, looking to stake their claim for the rest of the season for years to come. 4-year degrees in Scotland, of course. Rhea Clark, who I think is in her 4th, absolutely clatters her opposite number.
I think Rhea's still got another year to go, actually. I think she's just gone into 3rd year.
Another year of pain, another year of pain for opposition scrum halves.
Yeah.
Well, the ball initially bounced favourably for Cardiff, but from the knock-on, a player in front picked it up, so an offside penalty awarded. And again, Edinburgh wanting to play with tempo. Kieran Bell wrestled into touch. It's a good tackle, a big tackle on one of the star gunners for Edinburgh. Kieran Bell returning from a quad injury. I believe she's on managed minutes though, so we're not going to get the full show today. Zoe Dare flips it off the top as she's really stretched to her extremities. That's great fighting, battling forward for the meters. And Dare shows a nice bang off the left foot, but she's greeted by two dark green jerseys. Still in play. But a high tackle in there means no advantage played and an ideal opportunity for Cardiff to exit. What do you make of the game so far, Hannah?
Well, I think both teams have had a little go. It's going back and forward. We've not seen any team dominate at the moment, but I think still a lot of time to see. Well, what I like to see a lot of scores on the wing, which I'm hoping to see loads of space out on the wing. I'm hoping to see loads of people put into space. That's the best kind of game.
Well, these are two sides who love to explore the edges when it comes to scoring tries. So, you know, both the strengths lying out right on the wings, and hopefully, as you said, we're going to see some good tries. We've seen two nice ones already, and again, that straightening the line from Carolina Thomas, the fullback, who just injects herself there at the right time in her 6th season playing for the uni. But even her go forward doesn't allow Cardiff to progress on the next phase. In fact, they give away a penalty. And Lucy McRae does find touch, potentially behind where, where the initial mark was from. Yeah. One that might get played at the end of season dinner.
Yeah. She almost found the car over there.
Be that as it may, a prime attacking position for Edinburgh to launch from the line out. Stolen by Dare. The throw just dying from Millie Whitehouse. Lucy Senek, who developed her rugby as part of the Quinn Centre of Excellence, scampering away from defenders, but from the next passage it's another knock-on. And really, these are errors that Cardiff are in control of. There's a lot of knock-ons, not under immense amounts of pressure. So while frustrating, they'll know that they can also remedy the situation.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely frustrating when you've got a good platform set up and then a little slip of the ball and it's easy enough for the other team to take it over. I think it's been a bit rainy though, so maybe it's a bit slippery.
Well, you don't get better field position than this, and Edinburgh have used it to try and unleash Kieran Bell, but she's well watched. Initially brilliant hit on Nicole Flynn as well, which really sort of jolted the passage to a halt. Still, Edinburgh in possession, albeit in reverse now. As again, they're scrabbling around on the floor for a loose ball. Well, that was unusual. That was like an American football
mind games
move there. Not sure if I've ever seen that in a game before, but Hannah McMahon, that's the kind of power I have seen from her. Very, very strong carrier. And from the carry, Edinburgh have width. Edinburgh have wheels. Edinburgh have the touchline again. Brilliant defence from Joss Sturzaker, who's really been a match to Kieran Bell so far.
Yep. I think Kieran will be well marked on the wing. They obviously know her threats out there. She has been compared to Duhan, the female Duhan, so I'm hoping to see a bit more of that on the wing.
Well, her opposite number today, she's new to rugby this year. Joss Sturzaker, very talented netballer who has caught the rugby bug.
We've got a few that have came from different sports in our team as well. I think rugby's one of those sports you can come from a different background and you'll fit right in. Hannah Walker on the wing, she came from netball. She was previously in one of the Scotland under-18 netball teams. And Poppy Fletcher, she done a bit of judo as well, which I found out today, which was always quite interesting.
Did you find out the hard way? Did you wrong
No.
her and she?
No, I didn't. But I definitely wouldn't want to be against her at a judo match. I can definitely see where it comes from, the aggression on the pitch.
Wouldn't like to step into the dojo.
No.
with Poppy.
Or any of them, to be fair, actually.
You stick to the wing and outside centre,
Exactly.
Hannah.
Yeah.
Well, Cardiff at the moment are pretty locked in their 22, nay, their 5 metre line, and having not managed to convert a midfield scrum, the Edinburgh backs will be licking their lips at the opportunity to go from point blank range from the 5 metre. Bruce on the ball, fumbles, and another chance squandered. Hannah, you mentioned the rain. Are you hearing that thunder as well?
I am, yeah. I thought it was just the ladder shaking or something. But yeah.
Both these teams could be in for a storm. But we'll be praying there isn't one, because we're quite high up and quite exposed and under no cover up here for the commentary. But finally, Cardiff managed to negotiate their way out of their 22. It's a good touch finder. And they can just loosen a button around their collar and breathe a little bit easier, though still defending to do with it being Edinburgh possession.
Hoping to see the ball get out to the backs this time. I think Edinburgh have been a bit unlucky not managing to get the ball out, but hopefully we can see the ball out this time.
Well, it does almost get out to the backs, but Siobhan McGinley's there to carry directly. Bruce to McRae. McRae darting through a gap and glanced over her right shoulder looking for support, but instead takes it to the floor. Nice footwork from Poppy Fletcher. Just shifting the point of contact and getting some slightly softer shoulders, and that's why Edinburgh have a bit of momentum forward. McMahon. Tash Logan just about breaks the 22 threshold. McRae. Lovely flat ball to McGinley at an angle. But stolen at the breakdown. It was somewhere that Owen Smith identified as a key battleground today against Edinburgh. That's going to be the biggest one of the half for the women in red. And they compound it with a penalty as well. Just at the moment, Edinburgh really finding it difficult to break down this Cardiff defence.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we just, after getting the ball up a couple of times, we're hoping to find the space out out wide, so it's definitely crucial that we can keep hold of the ball, but Cardiff doing pretty well at defending at the moment.
So a line out, pretty exactly where we were previously, but in Cardiff hands. Does find Zoe there. And a loose pass isn't punished because it's penalty advantage, and here come Cardiff. Wonderful pop off the floor and soft hands as well from Sturzaker. Nice shape to the Cardiff attack if they can squeeze another pass beyond the 13 channel, but Nicole Flynn apprehends Eleanor Hing. Carolina Thomas, very, very busy from fullback, isn't she? Finding a way to involve herself in the game and involve herself positively. But the turnover's good. McGinley foraging on the floor, and Edinburgh in transition. This is where they're dangerous, but Thomas again coming in with a key intervention. Forwards linking up in the midfield, and Poppy Fletcher pumping the pistons. Good counter-rucking from Cardiff, and enough disruption for the pass to go awry. I just get the feeling, Hannah, that Edinburgh are a bit frustrated.
I think they are, yeah. A bit of confusion there, I think. But hopefully it'll be resolved and they'll get their heads switched on, and hopefully we'll see some more scores.
Cardiff will be mindful as well that they were well in the game last week at the Arms Park. And while they did ultimately concede a half-century of points, at half-time they were more than in the conversation against their more established City counterparts, and that's lovely. Eleanor Hing, just a handful of jersey away from bursting through into the Edinburgh half again. They've got penalty advantage here, Cardiff. Again, that breakdown battleground really falling in the favour of Cardiff. Dare goes in at half-back, links up with Della Savina. Long miss ball, Hing spots some room.
Leave it, Sarah, drop it.
And the penalties racking up against Edinburgh at the moment. Been under the cosh for the last 15 minutes or so. They're shackled in their own 22, but Cardiff have battled. They've fended off the Scottish attacks, and now they find themselves with a line out just on the doorstep of the Edinburgh 22.
I think Cardiff's attack have been pretty good. I think they're definitely coming into the 22 looking to get a score out of this, and they're really working hard for it.
Wow, lovely deception there with the lines run by the forwards offering themselves in the midfield. The pass wasn't quite on the money for Ellie Tromans. And there's a lot going on, isn't there, when they do get clean ball, Cardiff. A lot for the likes of McRae and Flynn to be thinking about, and Abby Bruce as well, shifting across.
Yeah, definitely. I think the inside backs have been working quite hard, stopping those lines there really well. The Cardiff team are really, they've really got great lines and they've got great backs moves there. Definitely good having the forwards working in with that. Definitely deceiving for the centres to have to work out.
Clean ball for Edinburgh to launch from. Out to Flynn. He was key in the Walker try previously, but she's not going to be able to get it to her right winger on this occasion because she's swung out. And again, Cardiff coming up with the defensive answers for the Edinburgh attack. Evie Guy, former Horsham, Colliers and Sussex player, finding her line-out jumpers very nicely indeed now. Again, handling between fly half and centre, letting Cardiff down, and Edinburgh invited to attack at them in the 15-metre channel. This time, Tash Logan cuts out all the passing and just sticks it under her arm and gets some good meters. McMahon again. Very industrious, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely. She's really strong, Hannah McMahon. It's good to see her in the contact.
Here's Flynn linking up with Walker. Attempt at the intercept. Not really on, so it's a penalty. Cardiff need to turn around. They've all got their backs turned, and Logan goes steaming into Zoe Dare. Lovely feet once again from Poppy Fletcher. So good when being pressurised. 7 metres shy, Edinburgh. Numbers here on the right. Lovely hands. Walker again for a double. Finally, they crack Cardiff. And with that, they take the lead.
Seeing those outside backs then again working really well. That's definitely where we want to see the ball more, out in the wings. I see Kieran's off. I think it's Eliza on the wing. Hopefully she'll get a good chance out on the wing, see what she can do.
Eliza Guest on wearing 22 on the left wing, but it was all about her opposite winger, number 14, Hannah Walker. We spoke about her netball background earlier in commentary, but showing that she's finding that transition to egg chasing pretty easy.
She also made a pretty good transition from being the Scottish under 12 chess champion, so she's quite good at the tactics, hopefully good at problem solving from that. But it's definitely a claim to fame for us, I think.
Under 12 Scottish chess champion,
yep.
Hannah Walker. Wow, she does it all.
Yep.
But most importantly for her team, she's done it in the right hand corner to hand Edinburgh a lead that they've really had to scrap for. The conversion doesn't come from McRae. So Cardiff very much within sight. Well, they have defended admirably. They need to get some time on the ball. They need to spend some time in the Edinburgh half because all the play has been to the right-hand side. Edinburgh will no doubt be buoyed by that score. Pass just drifts into that no man's land where no one's sure who to take it. Eventually, it's claimed. Whitehouse to Guest. Nice bit of acceleration from the new arrival on the left wing. Bruce. Out the back to McRae. Flynn finding Walker, but Walker wrapped up the moment she got it. McRae, bumper to bumper, in with the red jerseys of Cardiff. Good counter-rucking from Halstead. Edinburgh do really well to fish it out. McMahon, how many carries is that for her this half?
She's so strong. Me and Hannah McMahon actually have a bench press competition going on, so...
Is she winning, dare I suggest?
She might be a few kilos, a few 20 kilos ahead or something like that, but one day I'll be there.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
These bench press competitions. I think you've, judging by the way that she carries the ball into contact, you've been ambitious in picking someone to go toe-to-toe with on that apparatus.
Yeah.
Well, despite all the promising play from Edinburgh, Cardiff have themselves a chance here to strike from the scrum, albeit we'll get a reset. Dare does exceptionally well under a lot of duress. Good hands again. Nice footwork as well. Eleanor Hing is proving problematic when she gets on the ball, and she's still going. Excellent from the inside centre. Another line from Carolina Thomas. Just comes from absolutely nowhere. Seems to always be finding a hole. But this time, the Cardiff captain gets isolated, as has been the way. Clark wants to inject a bit of pace. This time it's McRae stepping. Bruce back on the ball before bumping the ball forward. Open stuff this, loose and free. Halstead decides not to carry, decides to send it wide. Claudia Harrison, the birthday girl.
Good tackle from Anique there, that was good to see. Anique's definitely a credit to the club. She said a couple of weeks ago that she started in the third team, worked her way up, and here she is, she's a starter for the first team now. Really solid player in the team. It's good to see.
That's what BUCS is all about, those stories of travelling from the fifth, the fourth, the thirds, all the way up to WNL, BUCS Super Rugby, and beyond as well. There's a lot of stories about certainly BUCS Super Rugby players having started down in the fourth and now winning international honours for their country. So some unbelievable stories to follow across this season and for careers onwards, to be honest. So Anique Burke, you're the next cab off the rank. We want you in international colours. For the time being, she's doing it for her Edinburgh colours. Flynn on that arcing run, dispossessed by the left arm of McRae that came in on the tackle. She's been a standout this half. The Cardiff inside centre. Just with only a little bit of change left on the clock in this first half, you feel Cardiff can keep Edinburgh out through this passage, it's going to be a real shot in the arm when they head into the huddles and approach the second half. As for Edinburgh, they'll be desperate to demonstrate their dominance with more points on the board. A wraparound, bringing Williams back in. Here comes Hing. Carolina Thomas, I beg your pardon.
I think that move's working really well for them. We've got through a few times now.
Good strong carry. Pounced upon, and well, McGinley is showing herself to be a menace at the breakdown now. Very low and strong over the ball. But she'll be dismayed to have hauled herself off the floor now and see that the ball is in red hands. Sturzaker, real raw from the far touchline when she got her hands on the ball. We've seen her in defence, but not cut loose just yet in attack. Well, that is a cynical penalty. Diving through, knocking the ball down. So, chance for Cardiff to go really as deep into the Edinburgh half as they have done since getting the opening score through Niamh Roberts with only a few minutes on the clock. Hing comes up with her first error of the afternoon and gets swatted away. The energy that Cardiff are putting into the rucks is outstanding. A fist pump from you there, Hannah, as your namesake McMahon carried for a few more metres. Millie Whitehouse, she's shown up well in the loose, the hooker. Cray. Good strength. Whitehouse, all rocket when she sets off. Wonder, when defences tire, how impactful she could be. McMahon shows no sign of tiring. A bit of strength this time on display from Flynn. We've seen her glide into gaps and link up with Walker, but this time battling off defenders. The brilliant counter ruck from Cardiff, and Ellie Tromans takes play to the halfway. We hear coaches talk about the battle of the breakdown is going to be key in the match, but it really is an absolute battleground out there today. Sometimes you think it's a throwaway remark, but every single ruck is being contested like it's life and death out there. Look at the squabbling around that ball. Ryan McPherson caught a bit high on her way down, no malice in there. McRae, no way through for McRae. Good work from Claudia Harrison, matching the inside centre who tried to arc round. Poppy Fletcher, who's caught the eye.
She's still going.
Continues to drive on, rolls as well. Judged to have been held in the tackle. She disagrees.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
And a breathless half is brought to a conclusion as Lucy Senek taps and sends it over the touchline. Not too many scores to speak of, but the ones that did come were very nice indeed. And it is a finely poised match at half-time. Let's check those tries out. It was Cardiff who got the scoreboard ticking first. Lovely interplay, forwards and backs. And it was the captain, Zoe Dare, who had the key pass to find Niamh Roberts on hand to motor into the left-hand corner. It's followed by a brilliant conversion from Eleanor Hing. Following on from that, Edinburgh had their response. They've been looking to exploit the edges all match. Kieran Bell was kept quiet on her return to the green jersey on the left wing, but Hannah Walker certainly hasn't. Lovely bit of 1-2 passing with Nicole Flynn provided her opener, and then she was doubling her tally and Edinburgh's late in the half, diving into the right-hand corner. And it is that score that sees Edinburgh leading Cardiff by a slender margin at half-time. And remember that all of this is in the quest to reach the Women's National League final. And what a final it was last year with Exeter and Hartpury.
It takes all 80 minutes between the champions of the Women's National League and the formidable new kids on the block. This is the final, Hartpury versus Exeter. Welcome to the showdown at the StoneX.
They're underway, and it's into the hands of Hartpury. Lucia Scott surging down the right flank, looking to link up, and she won't need the support. With just a minute on the clock, Hartpury striking in a flash. Wind into gear and drive to the line. Try number 3. And EURMC celebrate. They're across the line, they're on the board. They still keep it tight, but and it was a white line seeking missile from the dart and go to the blind side, and Lottie Dan stops down. They want to close out their championship performance, but finally it's breach and cue an outpouring of Hartpury women in red, an outpouring of ecstasy. Hartpury University, the Women's National League champions 2023.
It's not just 1 to 23, it's every person in this squad that's got us here today.
The Women's National League champions 2023 at Hartpury University.
Well, we're enjoying WNL action right here at the moment. We've got another game to come as well. BUCS Super Rugby crashes back onto our screens with a big one between two teams in red. Don't worry, the visitors Hartpury will be in their change of strip. 3 times champions in yesteryear, taking on Cardiff, who'll be looking to bounce back after defeat at the Cardiff Clash last week. And after that, we've got 2 monster games coming down the stream right at you. Bath against Cardiff Met, and it's not just Bath v Cardiff Met, it's Bath v Cardiff Met at the Rec. 10,000 spectators expected for the brothers' anniversary game, one not to miss either in person or live on the stream. And following that, we're off to another big famous ground. It's Sandy Park, and it is a repeat of the cup final from 2 years ago as the Green Machine welcomes the Palatinate down to the southwest. It's Exeter versus Durham. Again, a game not to be missed. Grab a ticket if you can. I'm sure they're selling fast or sold out, but otherwise join us right here on the stream, where we're going to be trying to bring you as much Women's National League and BUCS Super Rugby action as we can across the season. So Hannah, you've had a little bit, I've given you a little bit of respite to catch your breath, to digest that first half, and we had a brief chat as well when we were rolling one of the VTs in as well. What do you think Claire Cruikshank's going to be saying down in those huddles? Is she going to be happy? Is she going to be frustrated? What do you think the vibe is going to be amongst your Edinburgh crew?
Well, I'm trying to lip read her here. I'm not seeing what she's saying, but I think she's definitely going to say a bit more about trying to stay connected, definitely about the breakdown. I think a lot of trying to secure the ball, keep hold of the ball, and then just progress further on, I think.
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen a game that has had the breakdown so keenly contested. It seems like every time the ball goes to the floor, there's missiles in either red or green launching themselves at each other. You know, what is the talk around that sort of breakdown, that jackal area in the Edinburgh ranks?
Well, definitely with the new tackle laws coming in, there's more chat on having a more dominant hit on the first hit and keeping the second person out of the tackle. But this game's really great to see as a spectator, seeing you don't know which way the ball's going to go when it comes to the breakdown. You think Edinburgh have secured the ball and then Cardiff take over, but it is good to watch. Definitely putting pressure on the Edinburgh rucks, so hopefully that's more secured for the second half.
And for Cardiff, who are still tight in their huddle, what do you think the messaging is going to be for them? They've been kind of in all-out defensive mode, but when they have had a bit of pill to play with, they create some really attractive lines and line breaks as well, particularly through the centres.
Yep, definitely. I think they're also going to want to keep hold of the ball. Their lines are working really well. I think they're just going to try and progress on what they're doing. There's no point in changing it if they're getting through. So I think they're definitely going to stick to what they know and keep going.
(10-7). Very much all to play for in this second half. Edinburgh will have started the season with lofty ambitions as ever. They want to be back to a final. But at the moment, it's time to focus on the opposition in front of them. That opposition, Cardiff are doing outstandingly in defence. If we had a stats machine, I think the number of tackles that Red Shoulders have made comparatively would be absolutely dwarfing those of the Edinburgh women. They continue to make good hits. And interesting you mentioned about the tackle laws. There's been a bigger focus to be chopping lower and making that breakdown more contestable. And we're seeing some outstanding examples of those low hits. Double one coming in there on McGinley. Felled hard by the replacement, Cleo Turley, who warms her shoulder up very, very quickly. Cardiff have a little bit of ball. They juggle it back. Collected by Emily Hay, the fresher. She started her rugby journey at Cambridge. Eliza Stoward, the second year, also on. So Owen Smith has rung the changes in this half. Those numbered jerseys, 16 to 23, will know that their starters have laid a real platform, and one of them's Eleanor Hing. Hing pierces through the Edinburgh defence, weaving, arcing, foot to the floor, but runs out of field. Has to dive back inside, which is the right option. Edinburgh have got their backline organised really, really well. Claudia Harrison steps into it though, with a carry with some gusto. Eliza Stoward gets her first carry and a big turnover. And guess who right in the midst of it? Siobhan McGinley.
I think that's a few this game now. Definitely what she's good at, getting over the ball. I've been told we've got quite a few spectators watching from South Africa in a certain Scotland camp. A lot of alumni watching on, which is good to hear.
Well, big hello to the Scots girls who are going into WXV2 in Cape Town later this week. That's an exciting tour to be on.
Definitely.
But there's plenty of time to talk about that at the end of the week, because we've got a lot of excitement here at Clanrumney, and Ellie Troman showing her to be a pretty slippery customer as she plunges forward, and then another short carry. What a turnover. Siobhan McGinley is a one-woman crime wave at the moment. Nothing is safe with the ball on the floor, but responded to by Emily Hay. Neither of these sides cherishing possession at the moment. It's thrilling stuff, but kind of every ruck it's 50-50 at the moment as Claudia Harrison gets another carry in. Oh, that's dedicated stuff from Senek. Dives on the loose ball. Tromans, who made the break, spots a bit of room and spins Walker on her heels. Does well with a few Welsh jerseys bearing down behind her. And well, another turnover eventually comes. This time it was executed illegally. We get a bit of break in play. That's one thing as well about this match so far. The ball in play, it's been huge. It's lung-busting stuff.
Definitely, I think both teams will be grateful for working hard to get the turnover so they can have a wee bit of a rest.
Well, another lateral touch finder special coming from the boot of Lucy McRae. There is quite a wind to contend with for Millie Whitehouse, blowing left to right. It's worked very, very hard. So hard, in fact, that it's Cardiff. We're now in the 22. Dare, the captain, just that stutter step before propelling herself forward. Again, Edinburgh fighting hard to ruck beyond the ball. Replacement front rows, Stoward and Turley, just about transferring the ball to each other. Tromans is growing into the game, eclipsed slightly by Eleanor Hing in the first half, but some really eye-catching bits of personal play from Tromans in the second half. It was a risky ball that hovered in the air and Walker was sniffing. They won't be happy that they've given away possession. They'll be relieved that Walker didn't latch onto that.
Definitely. That came from a great hit from Poppy Fletcher there. Definitely put them under a lot of pressure.
McGinley swats one away before getting pulled down by Turley. The inside ball was on, wasn't it? Walker working hard off her right wing. Seems like there's a great telepathy between her and Nicole Flynn.
Yeah, definitely. They've been playing together for a few years now, starting off under 15s and under 18s, and with Lucy McRae as well. They definitely all work really well together.
Touch not found. Sturzaker flings it inside, and McGinley throws out the fan, then times the pass to absolute perfection. Eliza Guess, fresh into the first team mix and marking it with a try at Clanrumney.
yeah, great score. Came from that amazing fend from Shiv then. Great to see, again, the ball in the wing. That's what I'm wanting to see. Came from the forwards this time. Definitely a credit to the good skills that they have. Great hands as well, getting it out.
There was a try made by McGinley, finished by Guest, but as you said, one really carved out by the pressure that was applied defensively, not just from that passage, but also the passages before to drive Cardiff back, because moments before, Edinburgh were defending on their 5 metre line, weren't they?
Definitely see the wind there. Definitely is going to take its toll on the kicks for the rest of the game now.
So no extras added. And while it does keep Cardiff in touch, Edinburgh a clear score now. 15-8. You can see Zoe Dare, who was BUCS Vars player of the match in that 26-12 victory over Loughborough last year. Just sort of getting into the ear of Amber Stamp, trying to give her take on something that might be happening out there that she's not pleased about, or looking for clarification on, let's say. Do you see this with captains staking their case in the quiet moments and planting a seed in the referee's head? Medicine student, carrying hard. Flynn, just a couple of pumps before getting gobbled up by Hay. Too high in the tackle. Clark takes it right to the line before giving it to Whitehouse to motor on. Very close to the poach. Opens up for McRae. McRae accelerates. Tromans gets her. This goes wide. There are so many green jerseys. McGinley, McGinley! Oh, McGinley! You don't need numbers when you've got Shiv McGinley in the 7 jersey. Imperious at the breakdown all afternoon. And now showing her drive and determination to fight through the tackles and deliver herself a well-deserved try, and a bonus one at that for Edinburgh.
I think that last score was definitely a momentum shift for Edinburgh. They've definitely brought out another gear, and they're really looking hopefully to push on and hopefully see a few more scores on the board as well.
This time McRae adds the extras, and in a flash that slender lead of Edinburgh's now looks like a tall task for Cardiff to overcome as they trail 22 points to 7, but not insurmountable, that's for sure. They will be mindful though that in the clash last week they trailed only by about just under 15 points and then went on to be taken apart in the latter stages of the Arms Park. So they need to keep their discipline, need to keep their levels of endeavour as high as they've been, and that'll help their fabulous turnover from the Hong Kong under-20 international, Claudia Harrison. Emily Hay goes weaving through a couple of Scottish arms there, bounces back in, but she's been really well watched today. very active on the 7 circuit this summer, so she's got an eye for a try, that's for sure. Olivia Price battered back as the Edinburgh appetite for tackling just seems to have got a little bit hungrier. Plenty of phases for Cardiff, but negative meters in their P&L at the moment. And eventually that pressure tells, and McMahon is the beneficiary of some fine counter-rucking from Millie Whitehouse. Coughlin, very, very strong, bullying her way forward. Again, delightful feat from Poppy Fletcher. And a penalty conceded. Clark isn't allowing Cardiff to settle. Watches away. Play is called back for an injury to a Cardiff player on the halfway line. Well, this is, from your perspective, Hannah, probably a bit more like it from Edinburgh.
Yeah, definitely. It was good to see starting off the second half well, but definitely those past 2 scores, I think Edinburgh are really going to want to add more now to that. I think defensive work has been really good. I think definitely the chop tackles have been pretty good, especially because of the new laws about getting low. It's definitely came from our new defence coach, Ewan. He's definitely brought in about the real importance of getting low in the tackles, and we're definitely seeing that now with Edinburgh keeping hold of the ball after winning it back, and it helps having Shiv on the team for the turnovers.
I was going to ask about her. I mean, she's the kind of player who really gets on everyone's nerves at training because she is just being a nuisance in every breakdown and looks like someone who really relishes that squabble on the floor.
She definitely does. Yeah, she's always working 100% at training, and you know, this is her last year. I'm glad I'm not on the other end of her rucking and training. I'm quite lucky to be out, so I don't have to deal with that. Every cloud, I suppose, every cloud.
You said you said thank God it's her last year in the nicest, most complimentary,
for myself,
supportive stance a teammate can say. There are those players, aren't there, or that you always want to avoid them in training, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, here she comes. And Cardiff, they just can't avoid her, unfortunately, because she's absolutely everywhere. It's a good tackle, but McMahon, another individual whose name we're close to wearing out. Such are the number of interventions from her. Logan, McGinley. Just the pass dying on Bruce there. Asked a lot of her coming round the corner. You know, for Edinburgh, they're missing some key players as well. Missing, obviously, Holly McIntyre, who we mentioned at the top of the programme. Who's having her operation today. She's been watching us today. She's out of her operation now. So she's been supporting, so is Sarah as well. So it's good. It's good that they can't be here, but they're here in spirit. Probably feeling a little bit woozy, in inverted commas, from some of the pain relief that she's on. Well, we wish her a speedy recovery. But Edinburgh, they've got a few more names to come back into the mix. But Cardiff, again, just deploying Eleanor Hing through that centre channel, then bringing Carolina Thomas in. The timing of the running and the passing when Cardiff are presenting these moves in the midfield has really been impeccable. Other sides who are less defensively on their mettle than Edinburgh are going to find themselves being undone by those shapes as the season goes on. And for those who are new to the higher echelons of BUCS rugby, a step up into, be it BUCS Super Rugby or Women's National League, is massive. Absolutely massive. Cardiff went through their season last year undefeated, nilled a lot of sides, they claimed the Vars. And while they realise that they're going to be in for some tough afternoons and that victories are going to come as a premium, this group are loving every second so far. They said that this is where they want to be. They want to be challenged every week. It may not reflect on the scoreboard in their favour come the conclusion of the match, but this is where they want to be, competing at the best and pushing themselves to be better players. Now, Hannah, you played Scotland under-18s,
yep.
So you had international exposure. What's your feel on the quality of WNL, and also, you know, there's a lot of crossover with Premier 15s as well that you'll have heard from your teammates who've maybe had exposure there. Like, what's the touch on the quality of WNL?
Well, it's really good. We've had a lot of players playing in different leagues. They've definitely had experience, but it's a great platform to be on, and such a good quality of rugby, and it's great to watch, especially for the spectators. You just don't know which way it's going to go for each game, and it's good to watch.
Well, just having a pause so that Hannah McMahon can be pieced back together, so that she can unpiece opposition players with the ball under her arm. Incredible engine on the tight head. Can play loose head. She
played centre a bit.
She played centre as well.
2 years ago she played centre.
Well, only a second year as well.
Yeah.
So there's plenty more to come from Hannah McMahon, who took over Anne Young's jersey last season and then Eliane Clark this year. So she's one for filling big jerseys.
Yeah, definitely.
Maria Clark decides to dart down the shorter side, gets lassoed round the ankles before Pyatt pops up on her shoulder. It was all a bit pedestrian. And Cardiff get their chance from the line out. So Claudia Harrison, the tight head, is now throwing, and this should be fine for her. She's excellent ball handling skills, and she finds her jumper. And here comes a direct carry from Fionn James. Tromans linking up with her centre partner Thomas. Lovely timing on the pass to the try scorer Neve Roberts, who then finds Thomas in support. Great fluency to the way the Cardiff backs interact with each other. Good read defensively from Natasha Logan, halting the advance of the Cardiff girls. Emily Hayward, who captained Cardiff Uni football team prior to her 3 years playing rugby here. And another penalty goes to Edinburgh. Tash Logan, nice hands. McRae bringing Bruce into the hands of Guest. And Neve Roberts, she just needs a little bit of room. She was described to me earlier as a pocket rocket. Former international 400-metre runner. So if Cardiff
can give her some space.
just
She's
manufacture
away.
a bit of space. It'll be a good foot race, her versus Eliza Guest.
That's a Nick off now, I think, for... I'm not sure who that is yet. Can't see.
She's slotted herself into
Yep.
the back line. Just
I
in
think that's Ava.
the 12 channel. Ava
Ava.
Keechler. And Edinburgh have a bit of advantage as well. McGinley slips the shot from Hayward. Play brought back for no Rhea Clark. This will be tapped in a hurry. And McMahon, if I know her, it'll be straight and until someone stops her. Into the 22. Edinburgh go to their secondary attacking line and invites a Guest onto the ball. Poppy Fletcher again just showing that elusiveness in evading the first tackler. Whitehouse links up with McRae. McMahon on a straightening run and a little bit of propulsion to carry her through. 10 metres shy. Bruce to Flynn. McCormack in. This is good from Edinburgh. McGinley takes them to 3 metres. Back to the right-hand side. Clark thinks about it. Ducks under a tackle. 1 metre to go. Edinburgh seeking a 5th try. McMahon, for the first time, loses metres. Took 3 red jerseys to drive her back. And while Edinburgh celebrate, it's a knock-on in the act of grounding the ball. So a goal line dropout and a real feather in the defensive caps of Cardiff. They survive the dark green onslaught. And they keep things at 22-7.
Great work from Cardiff, keeping the ball away from the try line there, but it would have been great to see the ball get out wide. I think Eliza was out there on the wing. Hannah Walker was working her way around as well. Would have been great to see.
Nice pass from McRae to Flynn to Guest. Just seems to be a bit more cohesion in the way that Edinburgh are attacking now. Roberts gets wrapped up before she can cut loose. Hannah, when can we expect to see you back in action then? I know that an ACL is the dreaded one for every athlete going, and you never want to rush these things, but
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure you're pretty eager to get back into the mix.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm just looking for the beginning of next season. But don't want to rush into it. I'm quite happy watching the girls from the side, supporting them, but yeah, it'll just be great when I'm back next year.
And you'll play a role as well, you'll be in and around the group, and
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
not just a COCOM superstar.
Exactly. Giving them a bit of chat, making sure they're humbled, of course.
Eliza Guest just losing it in the leaden skies. So a good territorial win for Cardiff. And this is kind of their absolute dream in terms of launch pads for their strike plays. We've got Eleanor Hing, who, for anyone watching with international intentions, not the Scots girls down in Cape Town, but she is English, Welsh and Irish qualified, Eleanor Hing.
That's
so
impressive.
you know, there can be a battle over her. Tromans has stepped up to play fly half. Hing looking like she's now at outside centre. No Carolina Thomas on the field, so likes of Cara Ottaway and Poppy Newman looking to make a mark. Neve Roberts just pops it on to Emily Hay. Here's Hing now. Missed ball into the hands of Newman. Cardiff running with real purpose. Fionn James looks like a bit of a handful when she gets on the ball.
I think that's another turnover from Shiv there. Could have put money on who it would be.
Well, usually on the stats you have turnover statistics for the two teams, but maybe you have to create a separate column for Shiv McGinley and compare her to the efforts of the other 45 players in action out there today.
She's definitely working with her partner in crime there, Tash. She's always there, always over a ruck. It's good to see them two working together a lot.
Bruce to McMahon. McMahon happy to fend, even though she had a couple of speedsters on her left shoulder. Clark thought about the short side, but instead goes to Poppy Fletcher, who's just guaranteed meters. McRae jags back off the right boot. Oh, caught by Zoe Dare and McCormick. Some exhausted bodies out there. Long passages of play and committed battles at the breakdown. Cardiff had won that, but they just needed an extra player in there to then secure it. There's Natasha Logan. Whitehouse almost scampering free of her opposite woman. Back to the short side. Edinburgh go. McRae to Whitehouse to Walker. Logan very comfortable at first receiver, either carrying or distributing, playing the Eva Donaldson role, who she studied next to in the second row last season. A good strip in the contact means Cardiff can break free. Tromans asking for the switch from Roberts.
Great tackle from Lucy McRae there. She's been everywhere on the pitch today in attack and defence.
Well, Cardiff, bereft of options, go to the boot. McCormack kind of miraculously gathers that. I'm not sure she could do that if you gave her a million more opportunities. But Cardiff now have possession, and so does Zoe Dare. Just a bit of fatigue setting in for both sides in terms of mind and body. It's been a high intensity match, and you're just seeing a few of the errors creeping in now.
This is definitely when we see the full squad of 23. Great to see all the other players on the bench really stepping up, because they know it's their time to really put on a good performance for the last 10 minutes.
Well, you say squad of 23. You've travelled with 20 today.
So that they could have space for me, of course. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a sacrifice to make sure that we're well equipped on co-commentary for the stream.
Definitely.
So there's a lot of pressure on the fitness and the durability of the Edinburgh players, with only 5 on the bench. But they're standing up well so far. And the trio of Bruce, McRae and Flynn steadfast throughout the contest. Fletcher to Logan. 2 sizable frames there for the Cardiff defence to contend with, and under the pressure of the Cardiff blitz, Poppy Fletcher comes up with, well, for my money, first misstep of the game. So she's a fresher, Poppy Fletcher, as well.
Yeah, this is her first year. So we've got her for another 3 more years, which will be great. She's only going to get even better, which is great to see.
Showing great promise.
Definitely.
At an early age. That's exciting for a team and a coach to unearth a fresher who's showing such quality today and thinking, wow, what could she be?
Definitely. Likewise with Lucy McRae and Nicole Flynn. They're just in first year as well. They've definitely got a lot more to show.
I've been in the Scotland under-18 setup just like yourself.
Yeah.
So, international pedigree coming in young. Tromans, beautifully weighted pass. Neve Roberts breaks free. This is what we've been waiting for all game. Still she goes. Roberts for a brace. She won't be caught. And Cardiff have their second of the match. Well, you give Neve Roberts an inch, she'll deliver you a try. Great pace, great determination, and great reward for the Cardiff performance so far. And this kick goes over, it makes things pretty interesting with just less than 10 minutes to go.
Definitely, that was what we were waiting for on the wing, definitely from Cardiff. Hopefully we'll see more of that pace on the wing. Definitely I'd like to see her in a foot race against Hannah Walker. That would definitely be interesting.
Well, Eleanor Hing slotted a peach of a conversion for Roberts' first try. And she's so very nearly, it repeats the feat. But as it stands, it is Cardiff 12, Edinburgh 22. Still time
there is.
for this to turn on its head, and what a story it would be for the newly promoted Cardiff. Going toe to toe all afternoon with the finalists from a couple of seasons ago. Second place they finished in the league table last year before missing out on back-to-back finals through defeat to Exeter in Scotland's capital city. They lead by 10, and Cardiff are going to have to go from some distance, but they battle away through Olivia Price. She's just in her third year of playing the sport, having first picked up a ball at Farnham, Johnny Wilkinson's boyhood club. But the turnover on Eliza Stoward sees Edinburgh go quick, and they've got numbers, they need composure. Whitehouse tackled outstandingly by Ottaway. This will seal the match if Edinburgh can get across the paint. A forest of dark green jerseys cluster around the ball. McMahon takes them to within a metre. McGinley to Whitehouse. To Flynn, and Flynn gets in, And gets the job done for Edinburgh.
That was a great score. There was definitely loads of people lined up there. They wanted a shot. It was great to see Nicole score. Not her first one this season. She's got a few already, a few scores, which is great to see.
Well, she's deserving of that try, Nicole Flynn. She's very much been a facilitator out there today for those around. Always seems to offer a bit of danger with the ball in hand. And she's also partnered well with this girl here, Lucy McRae, who's stepping up for her 5th conversion attempt of the afternoon. Which she nails. Cardiff 12, Edinburgh 29. And after Niamh Roberts gave the women in red a bit of hope, it is well and truly snuffed out by Nicole Flynn. So Hannah, I'm going to ask you to have a little think about who your player of the match is, by the way. You don't have to give it to me now, but in the dying embers of this match, it is time to turn our attentions to that. So you can think about some candidates who stood up well, who were in the conversation.
Yeah, there's definitely a few. A lot of people have stepped up this game. They've definitely shown what they're made of. They've definitely gave it their best go this game, a lot of people.
Oh, this is one who's really put her best foot forward. Poppy Fletcher, wearing 8. Rhea Clark has to go. McRae, lovely inside, outside, stands up her opposite number and then releases the speed. One more pass will do it. That is a thrilling try and a hat-trick for Hannah Walker. Sensational hands, married with searing pace. And the finishing touch applied by the winger with killer try-scoring instincts.
Definitely another brilliant score from Hannah Walker then. There's just so many players that have definitely put their hand up for player of the match today. Definitely a lot in the backs. The centres have been amazing. Definitely our back row as well, with Poppy Fletcher and Shiv with about 400 turnovers this game. So there's definitely been a few. I think Lucy and Nicole have definitely had their hands on the ball before every single try. They've been about 2 metres away from the ball at all times. They've been absolutely amazing today.
So 34-12. Edinburgh calling audibly to finish strong, to finish hard. So with those candidates that you mentioned, who is your player of the match, Hannah?
I think today, from the turnovers, especially in a game where the rucks, the breakdown have been so uncertain, I think Shiv's definitely put her hand up this week for player of the match.
So Siobhan McGinley, the open side tyro and co-captain for Edinburgh, player of the match for her sticky-fingered performance in the breakdowns, but also bagging herself a try as well. Hannah McMahon, that girl just does not stop, and it's important for Cardiff here. They don't want to let Edinburgh in for another score. They wouldn't be deserving of a total closing in on 40 to be against them. In fact, another try would do very nicely indeed. It wouldn't deliver them the bonus point. They've only got 2 so far. Certainly 3 scores against one of the fancy teams in the league would be impressive. So Ella Oldfield, the blindside, whose first ever match was when she came and joined Cardiff University in the second team. Here she is now, Women's National League, within 2 and a bit years. The throw can't find her intended target, and instead the ball, as it seems to have done so magnetically today, finds its way to Shiv McGinley. That's a beautiful shot. A rib tickler for Millie Whitehouse to take on the plane back up north. Lucy McRae is moving with increasing confidence and menace when she gets on the ball. She's beginning to see her stepping ability.
I think there's definitely going to be a few broken ankles in the next few games from Lucy McRae's feet. She's definitely done me a few times.
And Poppy Newman pins her ears back. Ellie Tromans, who's shone a bit brighter in this second half. Oldfield goes back to basics and puts a shoulder to the wheel with a big carry, but stripped again. You know who. I'm not sure I've seen a single more dominant turnover display than Siobhan McGinley, and it seems fitting that from her turnover, Lucy McRae booms the ball out and signals the end of the match, and an entertaining one at that both teams can take plenty of. Cardiff and Niamh Roberts can take a brace of tries, but the 5 match points go to the women from Scotland. Final score: Cardiff Uni 12, Edinburgh University 34. Well, Hannah, it's job done ultimately for Edinburgh, but I'd really like to start with the opposition, your opposition today, our host Cardiff. They stood up fantastically well today. That's just their second game in the WNL, couple of tries, and were it not for some brilliance from Edinburgh, handling wise, later on in that second half, it was a much closer scoreline, and you know, that's a performance to build on.
Yeah, definitely made me a bit nervous watching it sometimes when their centres got their hands on the ball. Definitely amazing hands. Definitely credit to their forwards for facilitating that for the backs. Their lines have been incredible today. I definitely think they're going to be building on what they've got, and I think they played really well today, especially in the breakdown as well. I didn't know which way it was going to go at some points, but it was a really good game to watch.
It was indeed a fine game to watch, and it was one that started at a lick, especially if you are of a Cardiff persuasion, because Niamh Roberts was released by the handling of Zoe Dare. There were plenty more fingertips with their creative DNA, forwards and backs, that opened up Edinburgh down that flank, an area which they're very strong in, having brought 2 quality operators. And from there, Cardiff were looking good, but Hannah Walker, having linked up with Nicole Flynn, just found a way to prise open the Cardiff defence down the right hand side. And then it was all hands to the defensive pump as Cardiff batted away an onslaught from Edinburgh, and eventually the pressure told. But late in the first half, with Walker getting into the corner for her second of the match. So a tight affair as both teams reached for the oranges. But then Edinburgh started with plenty of gusto, led by their captain Siobhan McGinley, but also with their replacements coming on to have a serious say. Eliza Guest, fresh into the first team, having earned her stripes from the seconds, got on the score sheet. But Neve Roberts had one last act, and a thrilling one at that. Accelerating away from defenders, shaking off the last one, and sparking great scenes of celebration. But there was more to come from Edinburgh, as Nicole Flynn, so much the facilitator in the midfield throughout the day, got herself a deserved try before Hannah Walker rounded off arguably the pick of the bunch, and with that, her hat-trick to create a cushion that was never going to be overhauled, and round off the scoring for Edinburgh to seal this one, 34 points to 12. So we touched on Cardiff, Hannah, and you know we have to end with the victors and your side, and also, you know, having just watched that final try from Hannah Walker. What are you guys going to be taking from this, other than those 5 crucial match points?
Well, there's so much to take from it. Our ability to keep hold of the ball, especially during those breakdowns, and then manage to get it out to our speedy backs, was definitely amazing. Definitely credit to our centres as well for managing to link that up. And Abby Bruce at 10, stepping up at 10 with the absence of Sarah. She's definitely controlled the game well, making everyone do as they're told on the pitch. It's been amazing.
Is she bossy, Abby?
Well, she can be. I'm sure she would say she wasn't, but I think when it's needed, she can tell people, get them told. She'll get them told. Yep. And that's
going to be big as well, because you've got to have depth in all these positions, because it's free flowing out there. But we saw from the brutality of some of the contacts as well, it is attritional. Injuries are going to happen, and you need to be well resourced in every area for every eventuality.
It's definitely amazing. We've got really good depth in the squad. I think definitely from having our free squads, we've had a lot of players step up from the second team this year, and then a lot of players stepping up from the first team into different positions and filling big boots from last year as well. It's really a credit to the squads that we have. Definitely the coaches building on the players we've got, and really making the players step up has been amazing this year.
Well, there's your WNL action for today. We got the BUCS Super Rugby following, with Cardiff hosting Hartpury, but they're not the only big events that are coming down the stream your way this season. We got BUCS Big Wednesday and then the Nationals. 2 events to get very excited for indeed.
Open in the middle of the field. Shot away, a goal, it's in. Oh, that is a lovely strike. It's crossed to the hole and one.
Welcome to the University of Nottingham. Welcome to BUCS Big Wednesday, powered by New Balance. 114 teams from 25 institutions competing across 16 sports, 6 venues.
Here we go, we are underway.
We're now in for the big one. The championship final is coming your way.
Big game then for both of these two teams. Let's see which way it will go.
Welcome to BUCS TV.
Has a man down the field, open in the middle of the field. There he goes.
Oh, it might go really good. What an excellent goal that is. Here comes Rogers, champs it and puts it down.
Big strike. And that is in the back of the net. The Fletcher end, 14 points to 10.
It's like a right footing all the way in, and that's 1-0. Wow! Nottingham won it at the death.
Gonna go into the end zone again.
But one more time, your champions. The champions are Nottingham. The University will lift the trophy once again. What a performance it was today.
And this annual flagship event, marking the 10-year anniversary since the start of BUCS Nationals, always no shortage of colour, drama, excitement and names to watch out for as university students from across the UK battle for glory and bragging rights.
He is powering his way to the wall. Is he going to be enough?
Things are about to heat up a little bit.
They're all coming back in the closing stages. Oh, what a finish that was. It's a new BUCS record. She will take the goal.
Was it ever in doubt? But they're pretty much neck and neck here on this second leg. So tight, shoulder to shoulder. Trying to get alongside.
Looks like it's between these four for the medals.
She's going to bring them home. It's going to be gold.
Stroke for stroke now, into the finish. Where's this one going to go?
Brunel come home to defend their title.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Messi in the London. I'll chat to all.
Captain, player of the match, Sean McGinley and Siobhan. That game was something else. You've been with the squad for 3 years and there was a huge turnover of players ahead of this season. So to come together, now gone 2 from 3, how pleased are you and proud of the girls?
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I think we came together in classic Edinburgh fashion. We had like injuries, like people being called away to like international like women's team stuff. So it was a bit of a challenge at the start of the year. I think our first game away to Cardiff met, we had 12 or 11 like new players, had never played for us before. So it's that way, getting used to, we're the furthest away team in the league. It's getting used to, the hours of travelling and like working together, like the cohesion. But I'm so impressed. I don't think I could ask for much more from the girls. We went out today and said we were going to put on a show, and I think we did that.
You certainly did. And the fact that you in particular and your back row identified so quickly that the support play was lacking from Cardiff and taking advantage of their breakdown, did that come from your years of experience, and how did that ultimately change the game?
I think Cardiff, fair play to them, they took it to us in the first, half an hour, 40 minutes, but I think by the end of that it's getting used to the kind of speed and the play of the league, and actually if their inside player's not there, it's just that work rate off ball to kind of get there, and all the other girls kind of made it easier for me. Everyone's top tackles, big hits, getting us on the front foot so we could really attack that breakdown, and I mean, credit to them, I wouldn't have been able to turn over those balls if it wasn't for the rest of my team.
With that co-captain head on,
yes.
How did you galvanise your girls today, especially when Cardiff actually looked to have the upper hand in that first 30-40 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, we like to make it hard for ourselves. We like to make it messy.
Understatement.
Yeah, literally. I think we had a travel day all day today. It's kind of just switching our heads on and getting in that mindset that, there's 15 girls on that pitch, we play as 15. We talk a lot about leaving the shirt in a better place and playing for the badge on the face next to you, and I think everybody did that.
Bit of a shiner. Is it going to be a welcome bye week?
I think so, yeah. We've got 2 weeks now before our next fixture. So it's just looking to build on. There's loads of work ons we can take from today, but I'm really impressed with how the girls performed.
Yeah, we are too.
Yes.
Congratulations, great job.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to steal that and I'm going to call in your head coach in Claire Crookshanks. A little bit of a high five, a little bit of a mic check. Claire.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sure worried was quite the word we should use, but there was the element of only 9 of your team today actually having played together before. So the fact that they went out there and they executed in the way they did and they came back from Cardiff's early scores.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most pleasing thing from us, from a coaching point of view, is how they adapted. It would have been quite easy to just concede a little bit. That first 15-20 minutes, Cardiff really dominated us, and we couldn't get our hands on the ball, and it took us a little while to get there. Then we spent a load of time in their half, probably in their 22 as well, and we didn't maybe come away with points. And I think we could have that could have got in our own heads, but we regrouped, and the message at half time was let's go out and actually blast it. I think you've got a lot more to give, and they showed that in that first 10-15 minutes of that second half.
And when it did go right, the speed of defence, especially Lucy McRae, who is like, Wonder Woman, looked amazing.
Yeah, it's something we've been working on. Obviously, we're maybe not one of the largest teams. We're quite small, so the tackle height actually probably suits us. We can get those low chops in and then try and get over ball. And Shiv was actually brilliant at that today, and we got a number of turnovers from it. So it's something we've been working really hard on, and we'll keep working over these next couple of weeks. We've got a few weeks off now, and we play Exeter in 2 weeks' time, I think it is.
Oh, no easy job ahead of you.
Not at all.
2 from 3. If you could have written the script of the start of this season with all of the challenges you faced, is this a good outcome?
Yeah, it is. I would love to have been standing here going 3 from 3, but I think 2 from 3 for us is a really good starting point. And as I say, we've got a couple of weeks off now to rest the bodies a little bit, get everybody back in shape, and just work on some stuff going into that Exeter game in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, we look forward to watching that.
Thank you.
I'll take that one off you. Enjoy your plane journey home.
Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a thrilling encounter here. 1 of 2 at the Llanrumney playing fields in East Cardiff. That there is a win for Edinburgh Rugby, and I'm sure they'll be taking it into their bye week with a smile on their face. It won't be long. We'll see you very shortly where the BUCS game's about to kick off.